Hey there, my name is Megan and welcome to my channel or welcome back. Today I'm going to be discussing my November TBR, but before we go ahead and get on into the books, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well as giving this video a like to throw my channel a little bit of support. The first book is the book that I am currently reading, and I know for a fact I'm not going to be finishing it in October, and that is Ruin by John Gwynne. This is the third book in his Faithful and the Fallen quartet, and this is a traditional sword and sorcery type story. It follows a whole cast of characters, has a good versus evil theme, lots of your traditional fantasy tropes such as magical artifacts, the chosen one, the mentor. This is your quintessential hero's journey type story, and it is one that I have been putting off finishing for far too long. I am currently on page 111, so I'm not very far in. I think it's chapter 14. Yeah, chapter 14. So I'm not very far into this. I do have the audiobook of this, so I do plan on audiobooking and physically reading this to help get through it faster because this book is very dense, and I think the audiobook is about 25 hours. The next book I would like to read in the month of November is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This is a magical realism type book, and I have never had a lot of success reading magical realism, but my cousin lent me this book and I've known about it. It's been on my Goodreads TBR just because of how many accolades it has. I've even heard people say that this book has changed their life, so it's really piqued my interest. But in this book, in this world, there is a library between life and death. And people are able to, upon death, I suppose, go to this library and see how, if they had made different choices in their life, how things would have turned out differently for them. And we are following a main character, Nora, who has lived a life of deep regret. And she is able to go to this midnight library, pull out books in the library, and kind of redo some of the areas of her life that she feels like she has messed up. But as things tend to go, grass isn't always greener on the other side, and these new decisions that she's able to make may have unintended consequences. I'm really glad that this book is not a dense book because I feel like it would be a good palate cleanser between some of the larger books that I plan on reading in November. Then I plan on reading The Ashes and the Star-Cursed Queen by Carissa Broadbent. This is the sequel to The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And the reason that I want to get this done in November is because the third book comes out in the month of November, so I would really like to be caught up. But this is a vampire world, and we are following one human, Araya, who's the adopted daughter of the vampire king in this world. And in book one, she entered a tournament where if she won this tournament, she would be given a gift from the vampire goddess. Araya planned to ask for powers like a vampire, but not to be a vampire, to help her father in ruling this realm. But during the trials, she learned some secrets about the world, the different vampire clans, her father's history, that kind of makes her question everything that she knows. And then she ends up falling for a vampire from an enemy clan who may or may not have good intentions in mind. I really enjoyed the first book. I do have a full review for it, which I'll link up in the cards, and I'm very excited to delve back into this world. Next, I would like to pick up Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. Penelope Douglas is a contemporary romance author, and this is actually the first book of hers that I heard about. This is an 18-plus book, but it does take place at a high school. We are following two characters, Misha and Ryan, and when they were in the 5th grade, they were set up through their schools to be pen pals, and they never knew who each other were. They promised each other that they would never seek each other out, try and figure out their identity through social media, etc., because there was comfort in the anonymity of writing these letters to each other. One day, Misha accidentally runs across a video of Ryan, and by the way, Ryan is the girl, Misha is the boy, and realizes it's her, but he doesn't really like what he sees. After that, Misha doesn't write Ryan for 3 months, which Ryan finds incredibly weird. She starts to get worried. Then there is this new guy that ends up attending Ryan's high school, and he is not very nice or good to her, and she doesn't like him at all. But then their two paths cross, and secrets are unveiled, and the story kind of goes from there. I don't really know if this book falls into the dark romance category like Corrupt did, or her Devil's Night trilogy does, or if this is more contemporary, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. It gets a lot of praise from her fans, so I'm excited to give it a go. Okay, guys, that is it for my November TBR. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them or what you plan on reading in the month of November. And I will see you all in another video soon. Bye.